You'll pay dearly, Peru. I'm sure you were involved somewhere along the line.
That's right. Pretend you don't know. One piece of advice. Don't travel through France on your way back, or it'll cost you dearly.
Calm now, my friends. Let's calm down. Everyone seems to be a little unnecessarily heated. Don't forget where you are, please.
What's going on here exactly?
Sir Gregory called us together to introduce the last guest.
But hardly had we arrived when he set upon Monsieur Peru.
And who is this charming character?
Manuel Godoy, the Duke of La Alcudia.
He's the head of the Spanish government, Monsieur de Richet. He's the one who, in practice, controls Spain.
How could you dare do such a thing? Dios mío, you are all out of your minds!
Really, Duke Manuel? What made you kick up such a fuss?
What? Have you not heard? Well, let me inform you that yesterday morning at 10:22 a.m. precisely, in the middle of the Place de la Révolution in Paris, by decree of the National Convention which Monsieur Peru works for, King Louis was guillotined.
What? Oh, no.
The King of France is dead, gentlemen. Our monarchies are in danger. I have said it before. How dare they?
Oh, dear.
Oh, as if it...
Friends, let us calm down.
Don't pretend to be surprised. He got a fair trial.
Ridiculous! Bastard! He was sentenced to death by 361 votes to 360. You beheaded a king for one vote! Is that your democracy?
What an obnoxious act. Until this, anything was possible. This political coup will have grave consequences.
France is lost.
Gentlemen, please. Let us take a step back a moment.
In the name of holiness. He was the highest representative of God in France, Emily.
Gentlemen, Duchess, we're all among people of reputable company here. We should be able to manage the conflicts of our nations in a respectful and orderly manner.
I fully agree with you, sir.
But
That's enough, sir.
with whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
Louis Maras de Richet.
Are you related to Sarah de Richet?
Sarah is his mother, Duke. Gentlemen, this news affects us all, but I must ask you to remain calm. It's not the first time history has taken us by surprise. Let's ensure that our respective countries are allowed to respond appropriately to this news.
Oh, rest assured. The response will not fall short, my friend.
Good for you. Well, Your Grace, here I was preparing to introduce you, as is proper, and you've beaten me to it. I'm delighted that we are all together at last. Our meeting will therefore be able to kick off shortly. I have just a few more little preparations to take care of before you all find out the reason for your presence here. In the meantime, I shall leave you to get to know one another. When you hear the bell, please proceed to the conclave room on my left, behind that door. I'll see you later.
Monsieur Bonaparte, may I speak with you a moment?
May we?
What do you think of Duke Godoy?
Well, I'd rather not express any opinion of him.
Why is that?
His reputation is enough for me.
Meaning...
This gentleman enjoys people talking about him for too many reasons. His undeserved titles, more than 10 in just 4 years, and each one more prestigious than the one before.
You don't think he deserves them?
If I had seen him on the battlefield, there might be some doubt. But that is not the case. The Queen would rather not risk losing him, so she consoles him with awards and titles.
So you don't have a very positive opinion?
His coveting French Catalonia does not encourage me to have one.
I understand your point of view. What do you think of Duke Godoy?
Well, I'd rather not express any opinion of him.
Why is that?
His reputation is enough for me.
There are some rumors about his loose morals.
Juste, monsieur. Add to that his devouring ambition, if you want my opinion. Playing at lover boy rather than gaining merit for his career. It's a disgrace for any soldier.
I understand your point of view. What do you think of Duke Godoy?
Well, I'd rather not express any opinion of him.
Why is that?
His reputation is enough for me.
I'm sure that a soldier such as yourself is not interested in vulgar rumors.
Quite right. If only this cursed gossip didn't come to stain the uniform he has the audacity to wear.
Don't you find him worthy?
But how could he be, monsieur? He never sets foot on the battlefield, too occupied with charming the Queen. Have you any idea of the number of titles that coward has won in just a few years?
No, not really.
10! And that Don Juan spends the best part of his time under the Queen's skirts. The bugger must have some hidden talent, given all of the gifts she gives him.
I understand your point of view. What do you think of Duke Godoy?
Well, I'd rather not express any opinion of him.
Why is that?
His reputation is enough for me.
You'll be able to check if the hearsay is true over these next few days.
I sincerely doubt that. The context does not allow me to give him my trust.
I understand your point of view.
What do you want, Louis?
What do you think of our last guest?
Well, I never thought I would get the chance to meet that Hispanic Casanova in the flesh. His reputation is well known. The gentleman collects lovers, including, would you believe it, the Queen of Spain.
The Queen of Spain likes to indiscreetly say, the King, Godoy, and myself make up the Holy Trinity. The people have appropriately renamed them the Goat, the Ruffian, and the Whore.
I didn't see you being a mudslinger in your idle hours, I must say.
Mr. President, what do you think about your counterpart, Duke Manuel?
I'm very surprised he was able to accept Lord Mortimer's invitation, given the political situation in Spain.
Sadly, people are more preoccupied with his ties to the Queen than they are with his talents as a statesman.
And it is indeed regrettable, because he is nonetheless still an important leader. I am not a man who pays attention to gossip, you know.
I was wondering what to think of that Manuel Godoy.
He is reputed to be a very ambitious character, at every level. But his faith is unwavering. He is a staunch defender of the Church. You can believe me.
As to his faith, I have no doubt. However, his ambition seems to surpass his morality, and I hope that it will not sully the crown.
You can say that again. The blue eyes of the latest Infanta, Maria Isabel, have left everyone wondering.
Rumors always accompany men of power, Your Eminence.
Naturally. But the number of awards and titles granted by the Queen during these past 4 years leaves little doubt.
So, Godoy really is this out-and-out rascal who uses his charm on the Queen.
Ah!
Whoa. Again?
You can't be serious, Manuel. You know that's not going to happen.
You must leave me alone now. I have agreed to everything. Even to...
Agreed? I wasn't aware you had a choice.
What's going on here?
What now? What else must I do to win back my freedom?
Obey me. Now get out!
What was that? That's the third time in 3 days. Let's see if you're in there, Mother.
Yes,
Indeed, I rather believe he did. I have.
totally wrong, I assure you.
Good evening, gentlemen. Are we ready? The much-awaited conference is about to begin?
That is what we have all been waiting for.
I believe that Lord Mortimer wishes to speak to you before it begins. You should go and see him.
Manuel Godoy is perfectly aware of President Washington's appetite. If the United States took Louisiana, Godoy would know full well that he will have lost the entire North American continent. My friends, I propose we get started. First of all, I would like to thank you for taking the time to come.
The honor is ours, my lord.
As per our custom, here we are all together to discuss the face of tomorrow's world. Even though there may be certain tensions between our nations, I must ask you to keep an open mind. As Sarah de Richet is unable to be among us, please welcome Louis de Richet, who will represent the Golden Order and will vote on its behalf when the time comes.
Welcome among us, Louis.
Welcome, Monsieur.
I hope he'll be more effective than his mother regarding the protection of the King of France. The Order has proved particularly inefficient.
Come, Manuel, you're not going to spoil our visit. The Order's mission was not to protect King Louis XVI, as far as I am aware.
We are talking about a king of divine blood, for goodness sake. It seemed obvious to me he needed protecting. If the Golden Order wants to pride itself on being an influential organization, it should have kept him alive.
I'm sorry about the fate of the King of France, Duke Manuel. However, I'm surprised at your remark. How can a man like me have changed the course of things where a man like you, powerful, capable of influencing international politics, was unable to do any better?
Perhaps we may begin, Lord Mortimer.
Certainly. I have a dream that our nations will continue to support each other, more now than ever before. A dream that, for the sake of common good, we will do what it takes to ensure stability in the modern world. I have a dream that we shall lead by example and ensure that the American territory may remain in peace.
Thank you for the thought, Lord Mortimer, but I don't see where you're leading.
I'm coming to it, Mr. President. I need not remind you that North America is currently divided between the United States on the east coast and Spain, which occupies the remaining two-thirds of the continent. Well, I propose that Spain cede the center of the continent to France, namely all of Louisiana.
Louisiana? But, well, it is not for sale. Lord Mortimer, I sincerely hope I have not come all this way just to hear you ramble on about what Spain should and should not do. When we went to all the trouble of gaining the territory a few years ago, it was not just to lose it today. Have I made myself clear?
What did I tell you, William? You speak of union, and yet here you are, about to tear us apart.
Duke Manuel, I perfectly understand you. But rest assured, you will soon adore my proposition. You shall see.
Well, since you give me the choice, my good fellow, allow me to doubt it. However, I am impatient to hear what Spain could possibly gain from the sale of Louisiana.
I never spoke of a sale, my good fellow.
What? But I do not understand.
There is one more territory left to conquer, if I'm not mistaken, in the northwest. It is, of course, occupied by your notorious Indians, but...
We shall soon be rid of the savages, so that is not the question.
Duke, these savages, as you call them, were there before you. They are on their homeland.
As much as the black people of Africa, Monsieur de Richet. that does not stop your dear France from massacring them and sending them like cattle to Mr. Washington's cotton plantations to provide him with cheap labor. So you keep your morals to yourself, if you please.
Senor, I would not like to be associated with that. The subject of black slaves in the United States of America is a complex subject, which we shall resolve at a future date.
Senor Godoy, you must know that France will soon ban these barbaric practices.
Oh, do not get on your high horse, Monsieur Frenchman. The only reason why France has ceased trading in slaves is because of the commercial blockade that Great Britain has imposed against you. The instant the shipping lanes have been restored, France will again treat these people like cattle.
Come now, my friends. Let us not digress. Anyway, these primitive people have no souls, Louis. We bring the good word to them in order to save them. You'll see. Colonization brings with it many benefits, too.
Excuse me, if you don't mind, Your Eminence, I shall continue. Duke Manuel, I believe that Spain should cede Louisiana to France, free of charge.
This is utterly grotesque, Lord Mortimer. What a strange example you set for your young protégé. Isn't that so, Monsieur de Richet? Do you understand anything of this proposition?
If I were you, Senor Godoy, I would think twice before stirring up a scandal.
I beg your pardon?
Given the size of your colonies, you won't be able to keep them for long. A number of countries are eyeing them as we speak. The United States would have no trouble taking them. For all intents and purposes, you have no army in place. By wanting to keep everything, you risk losing it all, especially your colonies in South America, which are far more valuable to you.
That is indeed the danger, Duke Manuel. If it comes to war over Louisiana, you will lose. And probably a good deal more than you now imagine.
Young man, you are indeed a dark horse, aren't you?
I must say, William, I find your project mostly disfavors me. I thought you were my friend.
And I am, Mr. President. That is why I'm doing everything in my power to calm your expansionist fervor. France, in Louisiana, should persuade you not to attempt anything to take the territory by force. Louisiana is a vast wetland where you would needlessly lose most of your troops. It would weaken you and offer certain nations the perfect opportunity to take back your famous United States. I am protecting you from yourself, George. Trust me.
I understand. But with friends like you, sir, I certainly don't need any more enemies. I hope you know what you're doing.
Am I imagining things, or does it look like Washington isn't aware of Mortimer's plan?
Not to put too fine a point on it, Lord Mortimer, but I doubt the Holy See would be in favor of Catholic Louisiana being handed over to secular revolutionaries and king killers.
I should think Monsieur de Richet has an opinion on this subject, does he not?
That's enough, William. These are grave times. We don't care about the fate of Louisiana. That worthless expanse of putrid swamps interests no one but yourself.
Speak for yourself, my friend.
Hold on there, Mr. Royal Gigolo. Lower the volume, and let Sir Gregory finish.
Home, Godoy, and now Volner? Mortimer's adversaries are ready to tear each other to pieces, and he takes a malicious pleasure in watching it happen.
How dare you!
Gentlemen, let us try to remain calm.
There you are, William. See where your projects have taken us, as per usual. Chaos! That's enough. I'm tired. We shall continue this discussion tomorrow, but please be aware that your project will never be ratified. Those who are opposed to this project, follow me. Are you coming with us, Monsieur de Richet?
Come, Gregory, I think Louis would rather stay. Wouldn't you, Louis?
As for me,
I think I shall remain with Lord Mortimer, Sir Gregory.
You are committing a grave error, Louis.
Time will tell. Mary Louise of Parma. How ironic having a painting of the Queen of Spain in one's room, my Lord Duke. Hey, it looks like someone slipped something in the back here. It's a letter. Let's see what it says. It reeks of perfume, and it's written in Spanish. Godoy, you really are a little devil. So, let's see what it says. It seems that the Queen isn't the only one enjoying the Lord Duke's favors. If the Queen found out, it would cost him dearly. I'll keep it with me. You never know. Manuel Godoy. A painting of himself in his room. Now that's not going to help him develop a sense of modesty. The Kiss of Judas, painted by Caravaggio. This is how Judas pointed out Christ to the Roman soldiers. Can you imagine a worse betrayal? Don Quixote. Talking without thinking is like shooting without taking aim. I'm gonna have to think about that one. A ruble. Brutus and his companions taking an oath to kill Caesar. Charles IV of Spain. Now there's no chance of Godoy forgetting who he owes everything to. Maria Louisa of Parma. Although not Godoy's true love, the Queen is his benefactress according to some people. Amber. Prometheus, punished for stealing fire from the gods and giving it to man. Volner's probably still behind the door. I best go out through the balcony just in case. Duke Manuel?
Well, well. Monsieur de Richet, I was not expecting you. I am not in the mood, sir, I warn you. What do you want from me, sir?
This conference can't have been easy for you. Is it always like this?
Ha! That is the least we can say. Yet I was warned. I knew what to expect from Mortimer. But I refuse to be a laughingstock. If it is war the French want, that is what they will get.
Wait, we don't have to do this.
Perhaps. But everything is pushing us to do so. Just tell me one thing, monsieur. Why did you side with Mortimer? He is alone. Isolated. The United States can do nothing to help you, and France is surrounded by over 10 countries, just waiting for the word to pounce. Really. I do not see why you choose Mortimer.
But, monsieur, just think about it.
It will enable the United States to become a giant democratic state. What a message for the rest of the world.
We will shove your damn democracy down your throat, de Richet. I will raise the whole of Europe against you. How could you ever think a pup like you could manipulate me in this way for a single second? Never will I follow you. Let me tell you that not only do I refuse any collusion with you, but I will go much further. I declare war on you, Monsieur de Richet. On you, on your family, on your country. I will give you war like you have never seen before. Now get out of here!
Well, I hope Mortimer knows what he's doing, because he's going to get his bloody war.
Manuel, I'm very surprised by your response.
Get out of here!
Well, that's one thing out of the way.
Only thing left to do is wait for the conference to resume tomorrow morning.
Now leave me.
My friends, the conference is about to begin. Please excuse me if I troubled you last night with my project. I understand that you might well have a few questions to ask. As you know, the final vote will be cast in a few days. This morning's aim is to answer your questions and check the temperature of your respective positions so that we may reach a greater understanding.
As always, Lord Mortimer.
We parted in perfect disagreement, my lord. Where would you like us to take it from?
Come, sir. Please let William believe he still has a chance of winning us over. Otherwise, his imprecations will lack panache, and we shall be bored stiff.
Oh, let me reassure you, I am convinced that a good night's sleep has brought sound advice, and that this morning will be even more interesting. Therefore, I would like to go around the table in order to hear everyone's first impressions.
Well, I am still firmly against it, even though my choice won't count.
Against.
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 And you, Luc Manuel?
Well, you see, it is more complicated and it...
Godoy?
Calm, Gregory. Don't try to impress my guests, please.
They are not your guests.
Gregory, anyone under my roof is by definition my guest. You included. I would be very grateful if you would let my guests speak. Duke Manuel, you were saying you still had some doubts?
Well, you see, the situation has changed since last night.
What's going on here, my Lord Duke?
You see, I gave it some thought during the night. New arguments have come to light. After a discussion with Monsieur de Richet last night, I have decided that Spain will join the coalition against France and will go to war as soon as I get back. I am a man of conviction and of honor. And the way that Monsieur de Richet came to me to manipulate me into joining your side, Lord Mortimer, is unacceptable. Furthermore, I refuse categorically your project about Louisiana.
You reap what you sow, William.
I do not believe that Monsieur de Richet meant to upset you, but you have every right to react in this way.
You're all making me sick. Look at yourselves.
What?
You are pathetic!
This is like a bad dream. For what reason?
That makes no sense
I don't understand. I spoke to him only recently.
Monsieur Perrault has lost his mind. It's obvious.
Yet another way for the French to make a spectacle of themselves. Well, once again, it has worked.
My friends, let us settle down, please.
Monsieur de Richet, I have no time. I was about to join Sir Gregory. Come back later.
I wanted to talk to you a moment and...
I am expected. I'm sorry. We shall talk later.
Good God! They're all here. They must have heard the gunshot.
Where is Lord Mortimer?
Can anyone hear anything through the door?
Did you hear that? I was not dreaming, was I?
Certainly not, Duke Godoy.
What's going on?
Someone had the bang coming from the Duchess's room, and she isn't answering.
Gentlemen, go back to your rooms. Go back to your rooms. I shall find out from Lord Mortimer what this is all about. Thank you.
Monsieur de Richet, I found this conference at times quite amusing. Excuse this public humiliation, but I think you have learned your lesson. No hard feelings?
As for you, you lose nothing by waiting. Naturally. It's part of the job. You can't win them all.
What can I do for you?
I'm dreaming. My mother was right. He's not going to tell me one word about what happened to Emily. To tell you the truth, I'm in search of an armillary sphere. You wouldn't know where I can find it, would you?
Well, well. So you too have a passion for astronomy. Von Wollner has already bored me quite enough with all of his endless stories. You ought to concentrate, Louis. Politics is an art that requires all one's attention. Refrain from spreading yourself too thin, and leave stargazing to the poets.
What can I say? I'm only...
Ask Wollner. I am sure he must have it among his effects.
Perfect. Thank you, my Lord Duke.
Leave me now.
See you later. Duke Manuel?
Well, well. Monsieur de Richet, I was not expecting you. I am not in the mood, sir, I warn you. What do you want from me, sir?
I see you're still feeling under pressure. Since your arrival, I've noticed that you've been on the defensive. It seems to me that Monsieur Peru has a knack for getting your back up.
That is the least you can say. Indeed, I was warned. I knew what to expect. For God's sake, why in the hell did your people execute their king? Have the French gone stark, raving mad? There are nothing but monarchies in power in Europe. They will all come crashing down on you.
We shall see. It might, well, turn out to be the opposite.
You certainly do not lack for audacity, young man. Just tell me one thing, monsieur. Why did you side with Mortimer? He is alone, isolated. The United States can do nothing to help you, and France is surrounded by over 10 countries, just waiting for the word to pounce. Really, I do not see why you choose Mortimer.
The Golden Order, my friend. The Order is everywhere. We come from France. We are President of the United States, England, and many other countries. We have ambitions and the means to carry them out. You'll see, once all hell breaks out and your English support starts to fade away. The Order is an international organization. It matters little what governments do. Otherwise, why would Mortimer have gone to the trouble of inviting my mother?
If you are right, Sir Gregory has got it all wrong. Tell me, do you really believe Spain has any interest in ceding Louisiana to France?
My Lord Duke, you know as well as I do that our common enemy is and will always be England. I don't believe you look favorably at its embargo on France. Its ships cross the Atlantic Ocean right up to your coastline.
Do not even mention it. If those tea drinkers try anything in these waters, I will send the whole of the Spanish fleet to calm them down. Tell me one last thing. What would I gain from all this?
If you continue with home, our two countries will become rivals. It could turn into war. Who knows?
It is likely even.
A war, Duke Manuel. On our own territories. Do you really see yourself committing the Kingdom of Spain to an armed conflict against France? Can you imagine the financial investment required, not to mention the loss of lives and dishonor at the slightest defeat? Do you see yourself being the man responsible for that?
No, but you are the one who's pushing me into it, you damned Frenchman!
I'm not pushing you into anything, Duke Manuel. If you are a man of the future and of progress, as I'm given to believe, you will know how much suffering a war would bring.
Come on, you fool, give it up. You're trapped like a rat.
Monsieur, I am astounded. I did not think you capable, but you have succeeded. I will be more wary of you the next time. Nonetheless, if you can guarantee Lord Mortimer's support, then yes, you can count on my vote when the time comes. However, I expect you to be discreet with regard to my former partners, without which our agreement will become null and void.
Of course, my Lord Duke. You can count on me. Lord Mortimer will be delighted to hear the news.
I hope you know what you are getting into, Louis. I bid you good luck.
Good night, my Lord Duke.
See you tomorrow.
Well, that's one thing out of the way.
Only thing left to do is wait for the conference to resume tomorrow morning.
I would be very grateful if you would let my guests speak. Duke Manuel, you were saying you still had some doubts?
Well, you see, the situation has changed since last night.
What's going on here, my Lord Duke?
You see, I gave it some thought during the night. New arguments have come to light.
What do you mean, Duke Manuel?
Sir Gregory, I regret to inform you that Spain will not support you in this operation. I vote for. Moreover, in response to arguments brought to my attention, I declare war on France!
What? What is he doing?
If you think France is afraid of you, you are dreaming.
Over 10 nations rise against you, young man, and you behave like a yapping little dog?
When the French armies are at your door, my Lord Duke, you will change your tune. Well, as for me, I am for Lord Mortimer's project.
Are you coming with us, Monsieur de Richet?
Come, Gregory, I think Louis would rather stay. Wouldn't you, Louis?
At the risk of displeasing you, my lord, I'd rather follow Sir Gregory. I don't think this is a place for the Order.
Louis? No.
Let him go, Mr. President. Everyone is free to choose.
How can he be so blind? If he keeps this up, he'll lead our countries to their destruction.
Don't worry, we shall counter him, Sir Gregory.
We have to act immediately.
Calm down, Gregory. We only have to vote against his project, and that's it.
They haven't got a chance. Just one vote will suffice.
True. There is no chance of a unanimous vote. And he knows it. He must be preparing something else. What is he plotting? We shall shortly find out, so let's take the lead.
What do you mean by that?
His plan begins with Louisiana, which is still yours, Duke Manuel. He will begin with you. Expect to receive an envoy, French most probably. He will try to convince you by every possible means. Whatever he says, whatever he promises, you have just one response. It's war. If war is what you want, war is what you'll get. And on your own territory, in your homes. Enough games. Spain will join the coalition against France and declare war. You too, Duchess Hillsborough. You will speak to the Queen so that Great Britain commits to going to war with France.
What do you expect from the Papal States, Sir Gregory?
What do you think? That they hold a mass? They will go to war, of course. What is it that you didn't understand in what I just told you? We all declare war on France. Militarily, politically, and financially.
And me, Sir Gregory? How can I help?
Louis, you have won my trust. The Order will have to act in France, but even before that, I'm going to need you. Right here and right now. Leave me now. I have to prepare for tomorrow. Let's meet early tomorrow morning for the next phase of the conference, which promises to be most exciting. My friends, do not worry. I assure you that Lord Mortimer's plan will never see the light of day. I shall deal with informing our allies, but for the time being, I need you to make a stand.
What do you think about Monsieur de Richet?
I don't know yet. I feel there's great potential in him. He looks like he can be trusted.
Why isn't he with us? He was opposed to Mortimer.
I'll wait and see. I'm still not sure of his position.
And Duchess Hillsborough? Oh, why isn't she here?
She's busy. Don't worry about her.
Oh, isn't it time to replace her?
Not so fast, sir. She is an important figure. You ought to have a little more faith in her.
What are we going to do about Washington?
He will be a hard nut to crack. On our chessboard, he is Mortimer's king.
Don't worry. Mr. President only wants one thing. To keep his dear America united. He won't jeopardize everything he has achieved on a whim.
He has been serving Mortimer for quite some time. It won't be easy to bring him around. I have asked Monsieur de Richet to approach him. Let us have faith in him. I sense that Mr. Peru is about to surprise us too.
Yet he is Mortimer's strong arm in France.
He knows his time has come, and I believe he's intelligent enough to realize it means he is no longer any use to Mortimer. Do you feel all right, Mr. Godoy? You haven't said a word.
Please, excuse me, gentlemen. I feel tired.
Oh, I see. I think it is high time you left us then. Now!
My friends, the conference is about to begin. Please excuse me if I troubled you last night with my project. I understand that you might well have a few questions to ask. As you know, the final vote will be cast in a few days. This morning's aim is to answer your questions and check the temperature of your respective positions so that we may reach a greater understanding.
As always, Lord Mortimer.
We parted in perfect disagreement, my lord. Where would you like us to take it from?
Come, sir. Please let William believe he still has a chance of winning us over. Otherwise, his imprecations will lack panache, and we shall be bored stiff.
Oh, let me assure you, I am convinced that a good night's sleep has brought sound advice, and that this morning will be even more interesting. Therefore, I would like to go around the table in order to hear everyone's first impressions.
Well, I am still firmly against it, even though my choice won't count.
Against.
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 And you, Luc Manuel?
Against, of course. It is the natural order of things, Monsieur de Richet. There have always been men who govern other men. That is simply the way it is.
Am I disturbing you?
Monsieur de Richet, it seems you are everywhere. Was Mr. von Wollner able to help you?
Help me?
Yes. For your armillary sphere.
Oh, yes, that.
Louis, everything all right?
Yes. Excuse me, I was miles away.
Oh, while you're here, you wouldn't know who the last guest is, would you?
What do you mean?
I heard Sir Gregory speaking about it. A certain Al-Asif something or other.
Who? What?
Obviously not. It's not important, forget it.
No, hang on.
It doesn't matter, I'm telling you. We'll find out soon enough. I'm in a hurry right now. I'm waiting for someone. See you later, Louis.
Shit. I haven't time either. See you later. Duke Manuel?
Monsieur Bonaparte stood me up. Would you believe it?
Ah, the French.
So tell me, what can I do for you?
Earlier, you mentioned the arrival of a certain Al-Chief.
No, Al-Asif. I spoke to you about a certain Al-Asif.
Oh, sorry. I got mixed up. Al-Azif, then.
Al-Asif. It's not really all that difficult to remember. I wonder what role he is to have in all of this. It should not be long before we find out. According to Sir Gregory, he will be arriving just before the conference starts.
I'm sorry to have troubled you. I'll be leaving now.
Perfect. I was going up to my room anyway. See you later.
So, Home has planned something to do with the Al-Azif just before the next conference.
Well, my friends, here we all are.
Isn't the Duchess meant to be with us?
No, she's resting in her room. Don't worry. The conference can resume. Now, we all know that tensions have been running high, but now is not the moment to give in.
The main thing is that just one vote can suffice.
Yes, indeed. It will only take one of you opposing his project to win the conference. But I would rather have us united until the end. Meanwhile, let us remain on our guard against any last-minute surprises. I know my brother well. He never prepares for war if he has no chance of winning.
Dear friends, I'd like to thank you for your continued trust and confidence. I admit that during these past few days, there has been much upheaval. I understand you have all been affected by this. Nevertheless, the world doesn't stop turning, and we are in fact on the verge of reshaping the modern world.
That is what we are all here for, my lord.
Thank you for your enthusiasm, Monsieur Bonaparte. Now you all know what we have to do. I cannot warn you strongly enough. If one of Sir Gregory's guests asks to speak with you, remain on your guard. It is highly likely that he will try to rally as many supporters to his cause as he can.
Don't worry, William. We are all here to support your project through to its conclusion.
Thank you, George. Now, please, go and get some rest before the conference begins, which won't be long now. Louis, stay with me a moment, won't you?
Duke Manuel,
De Richet.
I'm delighted to see you're standing by Lord Mortimer.
One cannot say that the situation is altogether reassuring, but I must admit, he does know what he's doing. Something tells me I've made the right choice. So, to thank you for persuading me to join you, what would you say to a nice piece of amber? I am given to understand that you collect it?
Yes. Thank you very much, sir.
Don't mention it to Isa. It is the least I can do. Good. See you at the vote.
I'll see you later then.
Right. Godoy is on board. Right. Let's use this opportunity to get inside Godoy. I've got a few things I'd like to say to Mr. von Wollner.
Just one moment, my Lord Duke.
Yes, monsieur. Is there something you wanted to add?
Concentrate.
I need you to listen carefully to what I have to say, Godoy.
I am all ears.
Louis, push. I need you to do me a little favor.
It's working, that's it, Louis. Get in his head.
Oh, dear. What is happening to me? I do not feel very well.
I need your help, sir.
Get in his head.
Oh, perfect.
Thank you, monsieur. I'm sure I'll know how to take full advantage of your vessel, now that I am Manuel.
Duke Manuel, here you are at last.
Sir Gregory, Mr. von Wollner.
Thank you for agreeing to this meeting. I shan't beat about the bush, my friend. I was very disappointed by your behavior. I had thought you more loyal. Consequently, my affection for you leads me to ask you to reconsider one last time.
I've already reconsidered it, Sir Gregory. I shall be loyal to you when it comes to the vote. Have no doubt about it.
Excellent news indeed, my friend. Did you hear, Johann?
Yes, and it comes at a most timely moment. I anticipate an overwhelming victory.
It goes without saying to keep it to yourself. I would like to give William a nice surprise.
Whatever you say.
I'll leave you with Johann a while. I still have a few things to settle. I shan't be long.
See you later, Sir Gregory.
Oh, Godoy. Come over here. I'm warming myself up. I had the misfortune to step outside and I'm frozen solid.
I wonder what he was doing outside. Something to do with what Holm asked him for, maybe.
Mr. von Wollner, I wanted to speak to you. I'd like to make you an offer you can't refuse.
I'm all ears.
Now, we don't have much time, so here it is. You will vote for Mortimer.
What a strange idea, Godoy. You are being ridiculous. Tell me now, why would I do that? Damn traitor is about to drop us.
Louisiana is Spanish. Consequently, I am best placed to know what to do with it. It's turning into a personal stake between Gregory and William. Honestly, would you like it if someone told you what to do with Royal Prussia and Greater Poland?
Well, it depends.
No. Don't try smoothing things over. You are a statesman. You know what I mean. Today, Spain is weighed down by Louisiana, a source of epidemics, insurrections. It prevents us from concentrating on exploiting the wealth in the Western territories. And I have to let Gregory decide?
I understand your point of view. But as far as I'm concerned, I would rather be honest. You are wasting your time, Duke Manuel. You know nothing about me, and your attempts to manipulate me have no effect. You behave as though we were close. Yet ever since you arrived, you've only been interested in your own little self.
Don't say that, Johann. We may not be friends, but we are allies.
Is that so? And what do you know about me, exactly? If he knew I was Gregory's son, he wouldn't try it on like this.
I know, for example, that you felt a strong attachment for Miss Adams.
But how? You were there?
As I said, we are allies. I never lose touch with my allies. I take care of my allies. And when they are afflicted with grief, I sympathize.
I didn't speak about it to anyone.
No. And that's perfectly normal. It's your secret.
Thanks, all the same. But, tell me, why do you want to follow Mortimer all of a sudden?
Mortimer is planning something. We don't know everything. He must have something up his sleeve to be so confident.
Ah, really? And what do you think that might be? Let's see what he knows.
All of this is just a show. He has contacted all those we represent.
What do you mean?
That everything is already decided in higher spheres. William Frederick, the King of Spain, the Pope, William Pitt.
I don't understand.
Lord Mortimer has invited those who work in the wings of power to take a hand in swaying the decisions of those who actually hold it. Everything is already played out. He has already won.
How is this possible?
We've all underestimated him.
He's fooled us. We're done for.
Look, it all hinges on the next few hours, Johann.
Look, I hear everything you're saying, but there is no chance that Mortimer can make us all change sides. That is why Sir Gregory can but win. You understand?
Think again. It's already too late.
I'm getting a bad feeling.
That clever de Richet turned them all against...
What the...
All of them. One by one, he somehow persuaded them to join Mortimer.
But... No, that's impossible.
It looks like all of us have seriously underestimated him. While we all thought he was running around after his poor mother, he was actually accomplishing the tour de force of winning us all over, one after the other. You're the only one left, Johann. I dare not imagine what Mortimer will do if he finds out you are against him. Because, from now on, you're on your own. Good luck.
No, wait. I hear you. Honestly, betraying Gregory is... Well, it's unthinkable. Unless I simply don't have any choice.
Yes, he's finally cracked.
Thank you for warning me.
You're welcome. There is nothing more natural between allies. I did what I could. Now, it's up to you. As for me, I'll vote for Mortimer. Good luck to you.
Good luck.
Duke Manuel.
De Richet? I am surprised you dare speak to me.
Come now, my Lord Duke.
I hope Sir Gregory will make you sorry for betraying him.
In politics, one must know how to play the ball on the bounce. This might be hard for you to believe, but things have changed.
What are you implying? He looks very sure of himself. I wonder what he's got planned.
I've simply found out more.
About what?
About the project, and also about the parties present. It was enough to convince me.
All right. What have you found then?
When you find out, you'll hasten to join us.
Right. Well, you have piqued my curiosity, de Richet. I have a funny feeling you're hiding something from me. Why exactly did you choose to follow Lord Mortimer? Mortimer has a plan. I knew it! He must have persuaded the others, which means I'm the last one.
I have no faith in Sir Gregory.
Indeed. And why is that?
I don't know. He acts like someone who knows they've already lost.
Of course.
Given Mortimer's team, honestly, didn't you have any doubts about your winning?
Sorry, not for 1 second.
No need to apologize. Lord Mortimer planned everything to make you believe it. Everything is going exactly according to his plan. Not once has Lord Mortimer been the least bit worried. Not once has he wavered. Never has he had the slightest doubt.
And do you know the reason for such confidence?
No. I didn't need to ask whether or not to join Mortimer. He acts like a winner. He knows he's going to win. The game is over, and Holm knows it as well.
But where did we go wrong then? Luis, tell me, where did we go wrong?
They're all going to vote for Mortimer, Manuel.
But, no, that is impossible.
Will you be the only one to raise a hand in favor of Sir Gregory?
But...
The one to whom everything happens, who reaps all the consequences?
No, I cannot afford to lose. For Spain! I do not want Spain to pay the price of an alliance made too hastily. Not because of me. Indeed, it would seem things have changed. Thank you for letting me know, Luis. May I call you Luis?
Of course you can, Manuel.
In fact, to be perfectly honest, I never really made up my mind.
Naturally.
Yes. Do you think Lord Mortimer will tell me a little more about this if I pop in to see him? What is more normal than wanting to get informed before you make a decision?
Yes, I won. Look at him, squirming on the end of a hook so as not to lose face. I love it. Of course, he'd be delighted.
Perfect. It's a deal. You can count on me at the conference, Luis.
Marvelous. If you don't mind, I'll be leaving you now. I'll go straight to Mortimer to tell him the good news.
Yes, please do. Go ahead, Luis.
Duke Manuel.
De Richet, let me guess. How fortunate it is that I am here because you wanted to speak to me?
You read me like a book, sir.
Sir Gregory warned us that someone from Lord Mortimer's group would come and try to persuade us to change sides. I did not think that you would dare volunteer, given your previous ineffectiveness. Your last attempt triggered a war between our countries, need I remind you. Anyway, it must be said that you certainly have steel in your veins.
This might be hard for you to believe, but things have changed.
What are you implying? He looks very sure of himself. I wonder what he's got planned.
Well, it would indeed be an honor if you'd allow me a moment to persuade you in turn. A powerful man like yourself cannot...
Richet, stop playing your little games with me. Flattery will get you nowhere.
I just wanted to...
Be agreeable to me, I suppose. Well, I am not impressed. No, really. Is that all you have? Right. Let us save time and stop this charade, Luis. In all friendship, I must say, this conference has allowed you to learn from the very best, but you are going too fast in my opinion.
Damn it. No good. I haven't persuaded him. You ought to grant me one more minute.
That's enough, Luis. I have already stretched Sir Gregory's recommendations by granting you these few minutes. Enough is enough. I bid you good luck, I bid you good evening, and may the best man win.
Yes, we shall see. Well played, Louis. At this rate, Louisiana is likely to remain Spanish forever. Right. Let's use this opportunity to get inside Godoy. I've got a few things I'd like to say to Mr. von Volner. Just one moment, my Lord Duke.
Yes, monsieur. Is there something you wanted to add?
Concentrate. I need you to listen carefully to what I have to say, Godoy.
I am all ears.
Louis, push. I need you to do me a little favor. It's working, that's it, Louis. Get in his head.
Oh, dear. What is happening to me? I do not feel very well.
I need your help, sir. Get in his head. Oh, perfect.
Thank you, monsieur. I'm sure I'll know how to take full advantage of your vessel, now that I am Manuel. Are you leaving, sir?
Yes, well, I find myself...
Johann! Duke Manuel!
Sir Gregory, Mr. von Wollner is leaving?
Indeed, alas. Some business that simply can't wait. But don't worry, our plans haven't changed. We shall easily win the vote.
At this rate, there won't be anyone left to vote.
I trust you completely. Are you leaving, sir?
Yes, well, I find myself...
Johann! Ah, Duke Manuel.
Sir Gregory.
Thank you for agreeing to this meeting. I wanted to make it clear that I am particularly disappointed by your change of sides, and to let you know that from now on you have definitively lost my support.
Come now, sir. There is no point...
No point in continuing with this discussion. I entirely agree. You are wasting my time. Good luck for the future. From now on, you're on your own.
Oh dear. I do believe I've just ruined Godoy's political career.
Mr. von Wollner, I wanted to speak to you. I'd like to make you an offer you can't refuse.
I'm all ears.
Now, we don't have much time, so here it is. You will vote for Mortimer.
What a strange idea, Godoy. You are being ridiculous. Tell me now, why would I do that?
Because I know you poisoned Piaggi.
But is this a joke?
Certainly not. And you know full well it isn't. If Mortimer or even Holm finds out that you assassinated a guest during a conference, you are finished and you know it.
You filthy scumbag! I didn't know you were this kind of man, Godoy.
And so?
All right. I'll vote for Mortimer.
Thank you, sir. See you later. Mr. von Wollner, I wanted to speak to you. I'd like to make you an offer you can't refuse.
I'm all ears.
Now, we don't have much time, so here it is. You will vote for Mortimer.
What a strange idea, Godoy. You are being ridiculous. Tell me now, why would I do that? Damn traitor is about to drop us.
Because Holm doesn't really know what he's doing. He reacts indiscriminately. He is isolated.
Don't underestimate his capacities. He's far from being on his own. Just one word from him, and nations will rise up in his support.
He no longer has any allies. Look around, for God's sake.
Allies? He doesn't care about allies. Once back on the continent, he will raise armies willing to die for him. They will all fall to their knees just to serve him, because you are making a big mistake on one point. He has no end of power.
Right. Not a great start.
You are wasting your time, Duke Manuel. You know nothing about me, and your attempts to manipulate me have no effect. You behave as though we were close. Yet ever since you arrived, you've only been interested in your own little self.
Don't say that, Johann. We may not be friends, but we are allies.
Is that so? And what do you know about me, exactly? If he knew I was Gregory's son, he wouldn't try it on like this.
Not much, admittedly, but it's never too late. Indeed, I would very much like to find out more about you. It's never too late.
Oh, and as luck would have it, just before the final vote. You make me laugh, Duke Manuel. Really.
But I'm being serious, really.
It's indeed the worst. You're not dealing with a child, you know. Now you're going to listen to me, you filthy traitor. Not only do I count on voting for Holm, but once we've won the conference, it will give me great pleasure to track down all those who betrayed him and make them wish they'd never been born. Now, is that clear?
Perfectly. But I did warn you.
That's right. Now, get out of here.
Good luck.
Damn it. That's not going to please Mortimer. Good. I mustn't lose too much time. See you later, my Lord Duke. Have a nice rest.
Well, tell me, how did it go?
I did my best.
Whom did you manage to persuade?
Well, there's no point in wasting any time. I'm proud to report they've all come over to our side.
Ha ha, Louis, I'm impressed. I was sure you'd succeed. I'm proud of you, my son. Even Johann? How did you manage to do it?
I possessed Godoy.
You possessed Godoy, of course. Very ingenious of you, I must say. Son, you've accomplished a veritable tour de force. I couldn't have done better myself.
My friends, here we all are. We are about to definitively shelve Lord Mortimer's absurd project regarding Louisiana. It will only take one of you to oppose it, and we have won. The vote is to be held shortly, so we must keep our guard up. I'm sure Mortimer's preparing something.
Don't worry, Sir Gregory. Nothing can stop us now.
Beware, Johann. We mustn't underestimate him. So, I'll ask you to return to your rooms and stay there until the conference. And if one of Mortimer's team comes knocking at your door, no matter what, do not open it under any circumstance. Don't give them the opportunity to manipulate you. Is that clear?
Understood.
Good.
Count on me.
As you wish.
Right. Let us adjourn.
Monsieur Bonaparte... excuse me, I was expecting someone else.
Mr. Godoy, do you have a moment?
Your timing's awkward, de Richet. I'm expecting someone. I haven't time. Please leave me.
Very well. I won't insist.
Looks like he only wants to speak to Bonaparte. I know what I have to do if I want to speak to him.
Monsieur Bonaparte.
Louis, do you want something?
Yes, for you to test the Duke's loyalty, since he'll only speak to you.
Well...
Whatever it is, I haven't the time. The conference will shortly begin, and I want to be focused. Sorry. Come back and see me afterwards.
I see I haven't much choice.
Seeing as Godoy will only talk to Bonaparte, and Bonaparte will talk to no one, I have no other choice but to borrow his body. Nothing personal here, Napoleon.
Look, I'm sorry. This conference is of utmost importance to me, and I should like to be prepared for it.
Concentrate, Louis.
You don't mind if I sit down, do you?
I don't want to fall flat on my face when my spirit passes inside you.
No, I don't think you've understood, de Richet.
Link into his thoughts, Louis. Come on.
I said I did not want to be disturbed.
That's it. I sense something.
What word in leave me alone do you not understand?
Come on, just keep going and get inside his mind. Now!
Too bad for you. You can't say that I haven't... Thank you very much for the loan of this body, monsieur.
Right. Let's not waste any more time, Louis. Godoy is waiting.
Ah, there you are at last, Bonaparte.
My lord Duke.
With a typically French attitude.
Come,
you
let's
are
not...
20 minutes late. Without the least excuse. I am risking a lot, monsieur. You seem to forget.
Please excuse me.
Well, what did you want to see me about?
So, let's see whose side he's really on.
I wanted to be sure. You are still going to vote for Mortimer, as planned, yes?
Mortimer? What the devil are you talking about, Bonaparte? I am on Holmes' side, and I intend to vote against Mortimer's project. What on earth is wrong with him? He seems very odd.
My Lord Duke, I never once dreamed of you playing on both sides of the fence. but I was given to understand that you and Lord Mortimer do have a few interests in common.
But I don't know what on earth you are talking about. Lord Mortimer and myself may agree on a number of subjects, but I am and shall always remain loyal to Sir Gregory. You see, there is no reason to think that I could ever side with Mortimer.
Oh, that's a pity. He was going to make you an offer.
What are you talking about? Make yourself clear. I do not understand you. This doesn't seem like the way Mortimer normally proceeds. I'll know if he's lying or not by what he has to offer.
Come on, my Lord Duke. We both know very well what we are talking about. I thank you for not wasting my time.
I never dreamed of it, monsieur. I have a fair idea as to your presence here, but for some reason, something doesn't seem quite right. I am somewhat lost, to tell the truth. And this just isn't like you. I wonder if it really is you, in fact.
What?
You're just fishing around because you're the one who's changed sides.
What? What on earth are you talking about?
You're working for Holm. Admit it.
No, I'm not. Don't be ridiculous.
He's asked you to flush out the traitors in his team, hasn't he?
Of course he hasn't.
Admit it. I'm sure he's lying. I cannot make out what it is, but something is very wrong here. I will not fall into a trap.
Are you joking? Upon my honor, I urge you to believe that I am not the sort to play on both sides of the fence, monsieur.
Very well, very well. There is no point getting on your high horse. If you are really working for Mortimer, why did he task you to question me like this? I do not understand. If he really is here on behalf of Mortimer, all he would have to do is tell me the code we agreed upon. Whatever happens, if he doesn't say hummingbird, it means I've fallen into a trap.
Right. I think we've wasted enough time here.
I could not agree more.
Hummingbird.
Did you? Pardon?
You heard me. Hummingbird.
At last! Heavens above, why did you not tell me before?
I didn't think I would need to.
Imbecile! Someone could have caught us. Listen, I'll take your word for it, but tell Mortimer that he's making me run too great a risk. I already gave him my approval, and we agreed not to speak about it on the island. Just imagine for a minute if Holm had caught us. You might not know what he is capable of, but I certainly do. It would be the end of me.
The bastard. He really is a traitor.
Please excuse me, Duke Manuel, but that wasn't the intention. I shall go and reassure Lord Mortimer about the vote, and I promise to avoid you running any more risks.
I hope so. Now please, leave me. We must not be seen together. Ah, there you are at last, Bonaparte.
My Lord Duke.
With a typically French attitude.
Come,
you
let's
are
not...
20 minutes late, without the least excuse. I am risking a lot, monsieur. You seem to forget.
Please excuse me.
Well, what did you want to see me about?
So, let's see whose side he's really on.
I wanted to be sure. You are still going to vote for Mortimer, as planned, yes?
Mortimer? What the devil are you talking about, Bonaparte? I am on Holmes' side, and I intend to vote against Mortimer's project. What on earth is wrong with him? He seems very odd.
Come now, my Lord Duke, you can't fool me. We both know that you will follow Lord Mortimer when it comes to the vote.
My young friend, I do not know what's wrong with you, but you are out of your mind. I came here upon Sir Gregory's invitation, and I intend to bury this ludicrous idea of selling Louisiana. You see, there is no reason to think that I could ever side with Mortimer.
Oh, that's a pity. He was going to make you an offer.
What are you talking about? Make yourself clear. I do not understand you. This doesn't seem like the way Mortimer normally proceeds. I'll know if he's lying or not by what he has to offer.
Well, Lord Mortimer was willing to offer you a small fortune as compensation for the risks involved.
He wants to buy me? What kind of a man does he take me for?
Damn it! This doesn't seem to be the right approach.
Please excuse me. I must have misunderstood.
I hope so. because I am not the kind of man to be tempted by any sum of money, monsieur, no matter how generous. Bonaparte, I really don't know what you're playing at, but you seem completely off track. For the last time, I shall follow Sir Gregory for the Louisiana vote, and you can tell Mortimer that I'm not the kind to break my word.
Understood, but
I have nothing more to say. Please, leave me now.
My Lord Duke, my apologies for being late.
What? A Frenchman who apologizes? Decidedly. My stay here has never ceased to uncover surprises. So, have you any more information about de Richet?
What do you mean?
Are you joking? We agreed you would check to see if de Richet really has changed sides.
Oh, that. Yes, indeed. It appears that he's been brought over to Sir Gregory's side.
A traitor! He pushed me into turning against Sir Gregory to finally follow him himself.
If you want my opinion, he must be hiding something.
The villain. I was hoping he was just absent or busy snooping around all over the place in search of his mother.
No, it would seem he really has joined Sir Gregory.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I know what you mean. I wager he knows Mortimer is going to lose the vote. Don't you think we ought to think about ourselves and make sure we don't end up on the wrong side?
What? You would be prepared to leave Mortimer as well?
What do you say?
I refuse to be made a laughing stock. If that is the case, I am voting for Holm as well.
I think you are right, my Lord Duke.
After all, Sir Gregory was my first choice.
Exactly. But until then, not a word to anyone for safety's sake. I think it's preferable.
Yes, you're right. And we'd better not stay together. Someone might see us.
Good luck, my Lord Duke.
Likewise.
Ah, Louis. I was getting impatient. So, tell me, have you been able to speak to everyone?
Absolutely.
And? Did you find a traitor in our midst? What's your opinion of Duke Manuel?
He is a loyal and faithful friend of your cause.
I never once doubted him.
Duke Manuel won't be supporting us.
How dare he! If it weren't for me, he wouldn't be where he is today.
I had to trick him in order to make sure. I passed inside Napoleon so that he would talk to me.
Congratulations, Louis. I see you're not one to stop at half measures.
I pretended that I was only checking he was still working for Mortimer.
And he confessed?
He was suspicious right to the end, but yes, he ended up giving himself away and conceded he was working for your brother.
The scoundrel!
Good. I think we can begin. You will vote in turn on the question that interests us today. Are you for or against the transfer of ownership of Louisiana from Spain to France? Duke Manuel?
For.
The votes are now cast. The project is therefore approved.
Dirty traitor!
Mr. Godoy, soon you will be in charge of passing the territory of Louisiana over to France.
It will be done.
What have you done?
Me? Nothing, dear brother. Duke Manuel?
Against. Dear God, if I lose the war against France, I will be doomed.
On his return to Spain, Manuel Godoy proceeded to give Louisiana up to France. Later on, he became the target of the Crown Prince of Spain, Ferdinand VII. The latter gave no respite to his mother's lover, going as far as condemning him to exile. He confiscated all of Manuel's titles and possessions, as well as those of his mistress, Pepita. Pursued, they ended up living out their last years in France in poverty and anonymity. Manuel Godoy's close relationship with Napoleon enabled him to claim a part of Portugal, as well as the protection of France upon the fall of the kingdom. He died in the company of his beloved mistress Pepita after recovering all his titles and properties.